Hello my friends. Today we're going to talk about hill repeats. A few useful things you might want to know and some good jokes, all with some motivational running music in the background. Did you know that when Alexander Bell invented the telephone he had 3 missed calls from Chuck Norris? But did you know that when Chuck Norris does push-ups, he doesn't get up on himself, he pushes the ground down? A snail races all the way home with a cheetah. The snail arrives first because he hasn't even left his house. Speed work is a training methodology used by runners and athletes from various backgrounds and fields to increase their stride length, leg turnover, and stride efficiency, resulting in improved overall running speed and training efficiency. Hill running is the perfect marriage between faster-paced running and traditional strength training. Think of hill runs as speed work in disguise. Although they don't force you to run at top speed, they still offer many of the same perks of traditional speed work training. That said, hill reps are also beneficial on so many levels. Uphill running promotes good running technique because it forces you to lift your knees and drive your elbows back and forth to propel you forward. These are some of the most universal traits of good form. What goes up must come down. The downhill repeats work your quads like nothing else and increase strength in your joints and tendons. Hills may loom large and daunting in a runner's path. But take on the challenge to climb them and you'll find a pot of gold on the other side, a more powerful, efficient stride, which can net you faster times. Physically, training on hills builds muscle strength. And hill sprints or repeats can help improve running economy, which translates into less energy expended over the course of a longer distance race. Uphill intervals intensity improves what's called your lactate threshold. That means your body produces less muscle-burning lactic acid at the same swift paces, plus, you're better able to buffer the acids you do churn out. Flat intervals did this too, but with hills, you don't have to move as fast to reap the same rewards. I made 10 hard intervals on the slope, finding a slope of 140 meters, which has a positive level difference of about 8 meters, on a grassy path, and the descent is around 400 meters, on asphalt, making a kind of circuit, as he can also see in my filming. I can only say about my intervals that I shot as hard as I could on the last repetition and I obtained a piece of 4:23 per kilometer on the 140 meters. A policeman is fishing. He's fishing for the famous goldfish, but because it's too small, he throws it back into the water. To which the goldfish, "You saved my life, you can wish 3 things from me." The policeman thinks what he thinks and says, "Your ID card, your driving license and your car registration, please." Strength and efficiency help, but racing well on rolling hills also requires discipline and smart pacing. You can practice by doing your long runs on a route mimicking your race course, or with a session that pushes the pace after a series of climbs. Going downhill can burn out your quads quickly, unless you practice. Incorporate descents into your training too, especially if you're targeting a hilly race. On your way down, relax and lean forward from the ankles. Leaning backward, while instinctive, is akin to tapping the brakes, increasing the impact on your legs. Looking down toward your feet can help. After a thorough warm-up, assault the hill. When you reach the end point of the uphill section, walk or run slowly for 10 to 15 seconds, turn around, and jog slowly down to the start. Then repeat. Once you build more endurance, challenge yourself by increasing the length or grade of the hill, the speed of reps, or the number of intervals performed. Discussion in a taxi terminal. What are your prices? €3 per start and €1.5 per kilometer. Go ahead, I'll pick it up on the move.
Do it now.
If you've made it this far, I really appreciate you watching. Thank you. Please subscribe. I'm so curious to see where this channel is going to go next, and I would love for you to be part of the journey. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.